What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is February the 8th. Yep. And deer season is officially over. So this is going to be a little bit different video, but it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. It's kind of a follow-up or an update to my How to Be a Saddle Hunter video that I posted a few years ago. And if you hadn't watched that already, I'll leave you guys a link right here in the video so that you can get to that and check it out. This is just kind of an update on my saddle setup. So basically what I'm wanting to do is just kind of go over the steps that I take to hunt out of a saddle. And I started saddle hunting in 2017, and by 2019 I had switched almost exclusively to hunting out of a saddle. So I'm no expert on the matter by any means. But I do have several years of experience doing it, and I feel like I can share with you guys kind of my experiences, how I use this setup, and a little bit about the ways that have made it easier for me, a little more streamlined, efficient, and faster, and ultimately more comfortable, and how that has just really changed the way that I hunt. So that's what this is going to be about. This is going to be about how to hunt from a saddle. All right, so first thing I'm going to talk about is my actual saddle. And I have my saddle on here. This is the Tethered Phantom saddle, and I have a dump pouch on each side here, as you can see. And I'm going to tell you guys what's in these dump pouches. So in my left hand side right here, I have my lineman's rope, and you can see I have my lineman's rope tied to my lineman's loop on my saddle permanently, and I keep it stuffed in this bag. Now, I have my lineman's loop and my pull rope that I use to hoist up my bow or my gun, whichever I'm going to be using. That stays in this dump pouch all the time. In my right hand dump pouch, I have my tether, and I have my strap that connects my platform to the tree. Stays in there 24/7. That's the two things that are in this pouch, and I have two things in this pouch. These stay on me at all times. This is just the exact way that I keep it, and consistency is key. Guys, just keep remembering, consistency is key in these setups. You want to put the same things back in the same place every time. It's a game changer, trust me. So that's the saddle setup. Tethered Phantom with a dump pouch on each side, lineman's rope and pull rope, tether, and strap for the platform. So just to be up front here, there's no brand specific anything going on here. There are lots of saddle companies that make this configuration where you got a saddle and a dump pouch on each side. Figure out what works best for you guys, what you like most, and what's most comfortable, and go with that. This is just how I set up the saddle itself. Don't matter what brand you get, this is just kind of how I like to set things up. Hopefully this is something that can carry over to helping you guys. Next thing we're going to talk about is the pack. All right, guys, this is my pack setup. This has got my platform and my sticks. So these are the Tethered One climbing sticks. I've got 3 of these, and each step has a single step aider coming off each of the 3 steps. And this is the tethered platform, the regular standard size Predator platform. And I really like this platform. It's just what I prefer to use. So got the 1 sticks, my platform. This is the configuration that I keep these on my bag. Obviously you can see my steps down here hanging off the bottom. The platform goes through. I've got 2 nice straps right here on this pack, and then the pack itself is the Badlands Super Day pack. This one's in mud color. They make them in several different colors, and I just prefer solid colors on things. That's just a personal preference. But this is the Badlands Super Day. This has just been an awesome pack for me. I love the pocket layout and the straps for carrying this system in. Now, if you'll notice, I have hip pockets on each side of this pack. In these hip pockets, I have a few things that are important to this setup. So on my right hand side, I have the Tethered Hiss strap, which HYS, it just means hang your stuff. That's what the abbreviation HISS stands for, is hang your stuff. I have a HISS strap in the right hand side, and then on the left hand side over here I have the back band for my saddle. I don't always use that. I always use the HISS strap, and it's in here. Now, one cool thing about this setup and what makes this so effective for me is that I'm able to walk in, pick my tree, and climb the tree, and I never take my pack off until I'm in the tree, set up, ready to hunt, hang my bag on, and I'm done. I don't have to take things off, reach for things, fish for stuff, or try to get anything, come back down, take anything up the tree with me. When I get up to hunting height, I have everything except pulling my gun or bow up off the ground done. And that's one cool thing that I like about this setup. It's made me a lot more streamlined and a lot more efficient. So I'm going to actually take you guys through the process of how I hunt out of this saddle. Walking into a tree, climbing up, bringing my stuff up and hanging it, and how I do that without ever having to come down or bring anything up off the ground. Let's put this bag on. Make sure one thing too, guys, if you get a backpack, I really highly recommend getting something with a waist belt or a kidney belt, whatever you want to call it. But it just it takes the load off your shoulders. All the weight sitting on my hips, and this whole setup probably weighs right at 15 pounds. It's super light. I have no trouble walking in extremely long distances with this, and here it is. This is it packed. You can see my saddle, dump pouches, bag, everything is really narrow. So I'm really streamlined walking into the woods. I don't have any trouble like hanging up on a bunch of limbs and stuff. I don't ever get caught on brush. And then I got my little rifle here sitting by the tree just as a reference to pull up and show you guys how I do. But I'm fixing to take you guys through my process of hunting out of this saddle. So here I'm walking into the woods. This is my tree. I know this is the tree that I want to hunt out of. This is where I'm fixing to set up. Obviously, I would have my gun on my shoulder or my bow in my hand or on a strap of some sort. I'm going to come in just like this right here. I'm going to look at this setup. I'm going to lay my gun down on right beside the tree or my bow, whatever. Now, one thing about it, I like to pick a tree that's about the size of a basketball. Limbs and stuff don't really matter with a saddle setup. You can look into other videos on how to get around limbs without ever coming unconnected from the tree. But I'm not, for the sake of this video, this is just a plain straight tree. It's ready to climb. One thing to keep in mind if you're used to hunting out of a tree stand, when you set up a saddle setup, you're going to set up opposite of the way you would a tree stand. So if I want my shot opportunity to be in front of me, I'm setting my platform back this way because you're putting the tree between you and the deer, which is also another major advantage when you're trying to stay hidden from a deer. I can honestly say I have been busted less out of a saddle by a good bit than out of a tree stand. I'm sure it has something to do with putting that tree between you and the deer, or the natural way that you jut out from the tree, kind of looking more of a natural angle. So anyway, I digress. I'm getting off on a tangent there, but this is a tree that I want to climb. So I've walked in the woods, I've picked it out, and for the video's sake, I'm going to climb this side. And basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down, I'm going to open this dump pouch, and I'm going to pull out that pull rope. And then my pull rope works for bow or gun, doesn't matter. I have a little tiny carabiner on the end of it. Now my bow has a loop on the quiver that I connect to, and then my gun, I just simply clip it onto the strap. That's ready. That's done. It's ready to come up the tree with me. Now, I can reach back and very easily grab these clips, pull these sticks right off. No trouble whatsoever. Now I'm going to start getting my sticks undone and ready. And one thing you'll notice, this setup is extremely quiet. If I chink any kind of metal or make any kind of noise, it's probably because I'm wearing a ring that I don't normally wear whenever I'm in the woods hunting. So I'm going to take my first stick, I'm going to lay these others on the ground, and I'm going to pull that aider out of the bottom. I actually have these tucked up into the hollow tubing on these sticks. It just keeps them from hanging on stuff going through the woods, keeps those aiders protected. I'm going to set that aider about knee height because I know that when I set this stick, it's going to come down a little bit, and that's going to be about the perfect set height. So I'm going to go around the tree, lock in this first stick. Very quick and easy. No trouble whatsoever. I've done this a million times. Set that, you heard that squeak, but like I said, I'm not really taking my time. I'm sort of rushing through. But here we go. First stick set, good step height, easy to get into that 8er and be ready to climb. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and one thing I failed to mention, of course I failed to mention something. I have a Nite Ize S-beaner run through the molly loop in front of my dump pouch. I put it in front, that way that dump pouch is between it and there's the buckle that hangs down on the back of this backpack. When I undo the sticks, that keeps it from clinking up against that buckle. So I just take these and I hook them into that dump pouch, that S-beaner on the side by that dump pouch, and they just hang right there as I climb. Now, get back over here without getting tangled up in this cord. So, my sticks are on my side, ready to climb. Now, I am going to take my lineman's loop out of that dump pouch, run that around the tree, clip right into that, get it adjusted how loose I want it to climb, and then I'm ready to climb this tree. Now, I like to keep my lineman's loop in my finger like this. That way it's easy for me to move this up as I climb up the tree. Now, you can see I'm obviously getting out of frame because I'm climbing pretty quick. I keep this where I can maneuver easily. And then all I'm gonna do is, let's just pretend for video's sake here, because I don't want to get down and move the camera a million times, is let's just pretend for video's sake that I'm hanging, that the ground is the top of this stick, and I'm gonna hang another stick. Well, once I'm up there to that height, I'm gonna simply reach down here where I have these sticks on the pouch, pop the next one off, and then do the exact same process. I'm gonna hang this step just like this right here, standing on the top of the step that I just hung, and then I'm just gonna go right through the exact same process again. No trouble. It just takes a matter of seconds. Honestly, I can be up and down a tree pretty darn quick with this setup. It's just really efficient. I keep my bag on me, so like I said, it stays really streamlined. Now, imagine I'm sitting on the top step and I'm ready to hang my platform where I want to hang. So let's just pretend for video's sake I'm at hunting height and I'm getting ready to hang my platform. I like to hang my platform about where my knees are and relatively in line with the top step of my top stick. Gives me a little bit more room to work around the tree. So there's a little loop on my platform back here on my backpack, and I don't know, some people may not have the dexterity to reach back here and grab that loop, but I've got a little loop on the top of that platform where I don't even have to take my bag off. I can hook that little loop of paracord, pull this off. Now, I like to hold it with my knees like that right there at the top of the tree. And in my right dump pouch on my saddle, I have the strap to attach my platform. So I'm gonna get that out and I'm gonna go ahead and attach this platform just like I would in the woods. And like I said, you can adjust or alter this setup however you want to. This is just what I have found in the last 4 years of doing this to be the most effective, quickest method for me personally. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. So now I'm gonna get this set. Run my strap right here around the tree. And then for the video, I'm going to put it at this angle so that you can see it. But when I'm in the woods hunting, this will be the top of my last step, and I would kick this out to the side facing the tree towards the direction that I want to be able to shoot, such as that way. But for the video's sake, I'm going to go ahead and set this right in front of me so that you guys will be able to see the process of what I would do once I get set. So you'll push this down. That'll get your strap nice and tight, and then whenever you flip this down, that cams that into place really nice and tight, and that gives you a pretty good idea right there. I'd be set up and ready to start getting everything on the tree. Now, as I mentioned before, I have this really nice waist pouch in this backpack right here. All I do, once I'm sitting right here like this with my lineman's loop still, is I take this and I get this his strap out. I open it just like that. I don't do anything fancy. I more or less just toss it. This goes around the tree. And I like to run this up fairly high just because when I'm hunting with my bow, I self-film everything, so it hangs down too far if I don't set this up pretty high. And then I actually run my second angle camera off of this his strap, which is not really important for the purpose of this video. Now, on my his strap, I have a Hero clip. This is the medium size Hero clip, and I've put a little bit of stealth stripping on it. That keeps it from rubbing on my bow or my gun when I hang this thing. So it's just clipped into this his strap, and that just gives me a hook to hang my gun from. Now, what I would do is I'm sitting in this scenario, I'll go ahead and set up my tether, just cause it's easy. We'll go tether. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to keep my tether. Personally, for me, I find it more comfortable if my tether is really between my nose and my chin. I like it about where my mouth is. And then I'll go ahead and hook into my bridge on my saddle. And then I go ahead, once I'm hooked into that bridge, I can go ahead and take that lineman's rope off, and then I'm ready to start moving any way that I might need to. Now I'll take my lineman's loop, roll it up just like that, put it right back in that dump pouch. Easy peasy, nothing to it. So now here I am set up. Now there's a piece of this his strap hangs down off of the side, and I didn't show you in the video up close, but on my backpack I have a carabiner, a plastic super lightweight carabiner on this top loop of my bag, and I'll reach up here and I'll just hang it right into this his strap, and then I'll actually hook my bag most of the time. I actually like to hook it to the tree like that. Just, I don't know, it just kind of keeps these pockets from just flailing around, and I actually use this pocket, the hip pocket right here, to drop my rangefinder in so that I can pull it up when I'm hunting with my bow, and that actually works extremely well. It's very nice to have that. So this is exactly how I'd set up the hunt. I'm done. Other than pulling my gun up, hanging it up on that hook, I'm completely done with setting up. This is with the exclusion of me self-filming, because usually I have camera equipment to fool with at this point. But now, all I would do is just simply reach down. I would take my pull rope, like so. Bring my gun up the tree with me, pull, pull, pull. Ta-da! Unhook it. I just throw all that back in that dump pouch out of the way, and I take my strap of my gun or the limb of my bow, and I hang it just like that. If I'm sitting here and I'm hunting and I'm looking around, I got a deer coming right here, I have a perfect prop all the way around this tree. I've had a lot of people ask, how do you saddle hunt with a gun? Well, I have a great prop. I can easily shoot 360 degrees around this tree. I can come so far around this tree that I can shoot back that way if I need to, and still use this tree as a prop. Perfectly stable. I mean, there's nothing. I actually prefer to gun hunt out of a saddle and use the tree as a prop as I do sitting in a ladder stand and sitting it on a rail that bounces a lot. This tree ain't moving. It don't have no give, and it works freaking great. So for all you people wondering, how do you gun hunt out of a saddle, well, I'm anticipating naturally deer to come from that way. If they do like I'm anticipating, I have a perfect prop. I've got some weight is rested on this bridge, and most of it is held tight up against this tree, and I am as stable as I can be. But the off chance that they come from that way, I do have the complete ability to sit into this tree, turn my body, and shoot back the other way. And if I have to, I can come around this side, prop my elbow into my bridge, and I have a perfectly steady rest right there again. And I have shot deer that way. I have turned just like that right there. And it is just as stable, if not more stable, and it's more preferable for me than sitting in a ladder stand, especially sitting in a lock-on with a gun. This setup is what I have found to be the perfect setup for me. Everything about this is quick, simple, and efficient. I don't have to take anything off until I'm up in the tree ready to hunt. And this is exactly how I set up. This is how I hunt from my saddle. I appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you hadn't already, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. The channel has just grown exponentially over the last few months, and I couldn't be more thankful to everybody out there watching these videos for subscribing and staying up to date with me. Leave me comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you got ideas on what to change or ways to make it better, tell me. I love to hear back from you guys, and I try to answer all the comments. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.